Well, hey friends, welcome back to the cabin. You know, this has been sitting here for about 2 weeks now because I had broke the top link pulling a subsoiler when I was burying the gas line up there for the cabin. And I sure have missed being able to have this thing on the back. As you've seen in last week's video, I was moving it with the grapple on the front. Well, when I was backing up the driveway, actually the rear wheel started spinning. So it's really important when you have a lot of weight on the front end to be able to have a counterbalance. The tractor does weigh about 6,000 pounds with fluid in the rear tires, but the grapple itself takes up a certain amount of weight, and therefore I have to subtract that. So whatever I'm carrying on the front has to be counterbalanced on the back. That's the reason that you never see this hardly off of the tractor, because this weighs, I don't know, maybe 500 or 600 pounds plus about between 150 and 200 there on that boom. So this is a good counterbalance for lifting things on the front. But I did get the top link. I had to reorder that because that's what we broke. I did get it, so we're going to walk up here to the cabin in a little bit and we'll get this thing hooked up. But yeah, I really missed having this. You know, the total length of the tractor from the front implement, which is either the grapple or the bucket, to the end of that boom is right at 22 feet. So there's a whole lot that I'm maneuvering around when I've got this thing hooked up on the back. But you know, I've noticed that when I'm driving the tractor, it just seems odd that I don't have this back there. But yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can't get this hooked up. Trust me, I've probably been in every situation or predicament up on the side of this mountain when I was doing logging as anybody has been. So I am sure to be careful about anything that I do up here because I'm up here by myself and I don't want to put myself in any danger. Anyway, I'm headed up here. I'll show you the new top link that I got. Well, the new one came in. Of course, it's just like the other one right here that broke, right? But when I went down to Tractor Supply and to Co-op, they're made the same way. Got the same type of tool steel that they're using. I just wish that these were made out of solid steel because there is a lot of pressure on the rear end. You know, when you put a plow or something like that in the ground, any type of equipment, and you're moving forward, if you didn't have the top link, it would just want to flop over forward. So there's a lot of compression that's put on these at all times, and I just wish that it was made out of something a little heavier duty. Kind of makes me wonder now if I've got anything on the back. Let's say that I'm pulling a log out of the woods with the boom on the back. Would that break and cause my chain or my cable to whiplash? So I'm going to have to be extra cautious about that because, you know, when you stop and you think about this and how easy they are to break, it just makes you wonder. So, but anyway, let's go down there. We'll get this put back on, get the blade hooked back up, because I have to have a counterbalance for when I'm lifting heavy logs on the front. So that's coming up when I do some more logging for the additional posts and things like that down there at the workshop. There's still room for all of us down here, but we'll gradually be getting this cleared out as we continue to add on to the workshop. Well, I went and picked these up from the hardware store today that I had ordered. This is my tankless gas hot water heater. Of course, I'm not concerned with that right now because I am not ready to install it, but I went ahead and bought it. So we'll just put that back there by the side. This will be going in very soon, because you know, up here, I think I've mentioned this before, I actually don't have any hardwoods other than the poplar. I have some, but they're really high up on the mountain, and it's just too much work to try to get them down. So what I had been doing is I had been buying the firewood that I used to burn heat with, but it got so to the point last year where I couldn't even hardly buy it. I don't know if people weren't wanting to work, but I just couldn't hardly get it. So I thought, well, you know, I can't go through that again. And I thought, well, this year down in the bottom I've got some trees that I could cut up, but I haven't been able to get to them. So we decided to go ahead, since I was putting gas in, and get the gas logs. So let's see what this looks like. See if I still got it. Oh yeah. That's with a pair of scissors, and these are metal. It's how you hold it. Any phone man knows that's how you hold a pair of snips, right there. Alright, so we'll put those in my pocket. Jump up here. I thought I would undo it so that you all could see it. Alright, let's see if it'll come off now. Alright guys, that's what the new stove looks like. It's not as big as the other, but it's not real small either when you take a look at some of the others that are available. But the firebox is just a hair bit smaller than the other one. Even though it's fairly large, it was actually a stove within a stove, because there was another sheet of metal about 4 inches out. There was a large void in between those two, because it would heat up the air, and then it had vents on the side that I could blow it out, but I actually never used it because I didn't need to. So hopefully you know, the cabin is insulated that well where I won't have to turn this up high either. These are the this is the logs that came with it, so let's pull them out and see what they look like. Let's see. Right there, I guess this is a, let's see what it is. Oh, well, it broke, whatever that is. I think that goes across the front, so we'll have to see if we can use some fire adhesive and put that back together. There's a piece. There's a piece. Here's a piece. And here is a piece. So I'm sure that goes together somehow because of those tabs. These are the logs that go in there. I'll have to get the pictures out to see exactly how they work, but this is what's going to heat the cabin this winter and in the future. Yeah, it's really nice to have this top link back in service because I couldn't use any of the equipment that I've got on the back. I was kind of thinking as I was getting closer to being able to pour the columns down here for this workshop that I need to get that new one in so that I'll be able to haul the water trailer to be able to have water to pour all of those columns, because there's going to be quite a bit of concrete that goes in there. But if I look at this, that's how far out that those have to be run for this implement just about to be level. So what I'm thinking that I might do is I might run down and see if I can find one that is a little bit longer in the body area right here. That way these threads don't have to be extended. Now they are, the bottom of the threads are probably right about there. Probably got 4 inches of thread, but you know, there's really no reason for that. I'm not really going to suck anything up that close for sure. So I might try to find one that maybe is a couple inches longer. That'll give me another inch or so on each end, maybe 3 inches longer. That might work better for this big tractor. But anyway, it is nice to have that back on there where I can use all the gear that I have here on the rear. I've already got all of these barrels full. They are ready to go, with the exception of giving my dogs a bath the other day. So I may have used 1/3 of a barrel on that, because when you get them all soaked up, it takes quite a bit to rinse them off. But anyway, these are ready to go for that pour down there. And then since winter it will be approaching soon, I don't really have any other reason to have these barrels here actually full. So I'll drain them and get them emptied before winter gets here. And I'll get my pump put up. That way I don't have to worry about it freezing and busting on the inside. So yeah, we're all ready to pour the columns over there for the last section of the workshop. On the other tractor that we used to have, I did a video on all of the different modifications that I had done to it. And even though this tractor is a different brand, they still operate the same way. So if you're interested in some of the gadgets that I use up here that I have hillbilly engineered, click up here in the top right hand corner of this video that I did. I think that you'll enjoy it. Friends, thanks so much for stopping by. We really do appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.